Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts for another edition of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Delayed action because of the inclement weather we had this past weekend. This is Brian Fournier at Layne, Britton. And Brian gets us started. Good bit on the outside there, doesn't work. Hopefully you folks can bear with me because I had no way to test my audio. And hopefully you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me, I would greatly appreciate some comments. Brian starts off with a 9-box. Off to the left there. Both bowlers bowling 5 boxes at a time. Then sitting as their opponent bowls, and then they switch lanes and do it all over again for 5 strings. And Brian Goodbid tries to run out the 4 horsemen plus the 5 and 9, I suppose, but looking at the 5, 6, 10. And he goes through the middle for a 7-box, so 16 through 2. Brian right in the pocket, looking at the triangle right. Good ball that time. And he's right there all over it for his first mark. .26 plus this ball. Full in the head pin leaves a 3 and 1. 2, 4, 6, 7. And he's a little too tight on the 4-7. We're looking at just the 2-6 now. And a 9-box. So at 41 with a box to go in the half. Just off to the left, leaves a 3 and 1 on the right side this time. 1, 3, 6, 7. And just by the head pin. And an 8-box. We'll give him a 49 at the half. We'll get our first look at Layne Britton. This is his home house for this Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Layne, the father of Jordan Britton, who bowls in the Friday Pro League for the Central 1 team. A little off to the left, gets a bit of a break. 1, 3, 5, 8. And he's outside, takes out everything except the head pin. And a 10-box to start out. Right in the head pin. And there's a draws first blood with the huge strike right there. right in the 1-3 pocket. Bit of a mixing action, and the 5 was the last to fall. Let's see how he fills it. Back in the pocket. Very nearly a double. And it's... Wow. That pin... I don't know if you can get a look at that, folks. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. But that pin is angled. That perhaps should have been a double strike. And Layne's going to make sure of it here. So he fills that strike with almost another strike. But the 7-pin stud takes care of it for the spare. To believe that one stood up. And once check mark on the right, 4-pin on the left. Got a piece of wood in between the check mark and the 4-pin. Could work to his advantage, but no. A little too far outside. So fill of 5 on the spare. So 45 through 3 plus whatever he picks up on this last ball here. It's got to be 2 more for an 8-box. So 53 through 4. And Layne's a little bit too far outside off the head pin. 4 horsemen left plus the 9-pin. He's got a piece of wood in between the 1 and 2. Personally not my favorite, but with his hooking ball, he's got a sharp hook in that ball. If he gets right in there, could work, and no, it did not help him out. 7-9 still standing. And a 9-box. He's at an even 60 through the half. Got an 11-pin lead on Brian's 49. Brian will step up to lane 7. Brian fires in the pocket. There goes the 5-pin for the strike. So Brian quick to respond to Layne's big 60 half. Brian fires another pocket hit. Drop of 8. 2-4. And for the fill of 8. So Brian just gets by that 2-pinner. And he picks up 1 for a 9-box here. He's at 76 through 7. So a tight string so far. Big pocket hit. 5-pin finally falls. 7-pin still standing for the single pin. Single pin spare leave, I should say. Brian fires, and he's in the gutter. 9-box. 85 through 8. And let's see if he can make that hurt with a big first ball here. He does. There's 8. The 1 and 6 still standing. He's got a piece of wood right in front of the 6. The head pin is unobstructed. And he gets by it. And that's exactly what he wanted to do. He is at 95 with a box left in the first string. The 510, the Woolworth, with a piece of wood. Not quite touching the 5, but seems to be just in front of it. And doesn't do much for him. He takes out just the 5. And first string for Brian, 104, finishing with the 9 box. Layne Britton will step up to lane 6. He's looking at a 60 half. $44 pins to tie, 45 to win the string. So a big opportunity for Layne here. And an unfortunate leave there. 4 horsemen left. 6, 9, 10 on the right. That 6 pin seems to be leaning like the Tower of Pisa there. Just gets by the head pin. And he's got some wood against the triangle. 1, 6, 9, 10. So it'll be a 9 box for Layne. He's at 69 through 6. Layne just off the pocket there. 1, 2, 7, 10. With a piece of wood between the 2 and the 7. He's probably going to want to try and split the 1 and 2. That's probably his best bet to get some action over to the 10 pin. And almost does. I think that's what he's going for. But just gets by that head pin. And that'll be an 8 box for Layne. 78. So through boxes completed, only a 2 pin lead for Layne Britton. Right in the pocket. And Layne's looking at the 5-7. Wood appears to be rolled. Yeah, it's gone now. So he's looking at just the 5-7. Piece of wood in the gutter, but of course, that's not going to help him unless he cuts the 5 over to it. And just the 5. And that'll be a 9 box, regardless of what happens now. 87. Still remains a 2 pin difference. Through boxes completed. Layne seems to have dropped that first ball there and headed off to the left. Good attempt, but the head pin's still standing. And Layne's going to want to pick up every pin he can here because it's really tight. And no, so 9 box. 96, 1 pin the difference between boxes completed. Brian with a 104. So Layne will need 8 or better to at least tie the string. And he starts with tough leave off the 2 pin. 1, 3, 6, 7, 9. Okay, so he needs a pin here. currently at 103. Brian is at 104 for the string. Picks up a pin. To split the string. Although I just heard Brian say he threw a 105, so I could be wrong. Shows you how good I am at math. Brian starts off the second string. Please excuse my absence there for a sec. Just reviewing the first string here. Oh, okay. So I had missed a pin. Layne took that first string by 105 to 104. Brian starts off the second string with the 10. $137 for Brian. And what a shot there. Capped a piece of wood that was perpendicular to the head pin. And the rest is history. Nice shot. And not the fill ball he wanted to throw. Got a bit of a break. Fill of 5. It's 25 through 2. Looking at 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7, I believe. And he's going to play the outside. He's going to take it. What a shot. This particular house, Riverwalk Lanes, I've always found it's better to play shots on the outside like that. I could be wrong, but that's where I'd preferably play it anyhow. We'd appreciate your comments if you have anything to say, because I'm watching them all live. And there's a big fill ball. It's going to be a strike. .45 through 2. Filling a strike in the fourth, working on the fifth box. Here's the bonus ball. He is back in the pocket. A little full. Check mark left, 10 pin right. And just too good on the 3-pin. 2-pin, rather. And that'll be a 7 box. So 68 through the half for O'Brien. With some pretty impressive marks thrown. And here we get another look at Layne Britton, the home bowler here at Riverwalk Lanes. And good looking ball all the way down, punches the 1-5. And nothing hurts more than that, I'll tell you that much, except for punching the 2 or the 3-pin. And he works one side, so he's doing about the best you can with that lead. And he's going to try the other side, and what an impressive 10 box there. Can't be upset with that one. When you punch the 1-5 and shoot it for a 10. Good start from Layne. just by the head pin. Looking at 137.10. And he's by the head pin once more. Good bid on the out there for a 9. It's at 19 through 2. Once again by the head pin, but he's got the Four Horsemen right this time. Make sure you take a look at Layne's, the way he hooks the ball. It's really kind of impressive. Doesn't have a lot of velocity on the ball, but gets good action, probably due to that spinning motion. And he is right in the pocket for that Four Horsemen. And the 10 pin denies him. So 9 box for 28. Well, he was right in the pocket on the 1-2 that time, and no love. Three, four, five, 6, 9. Excuse me, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And what a bid. Goes for the diamond on the right side and almost took it out. And he just gets by that 4 pin for a 7 box. So he's at 35. He's got some work to do, opposed to Brian's impressive run of 3 marks in a row. Brian is sitting at 68 through the half. Layne just 35 through 4. Four Horsemen right plus the 5. And he makes it. What a shot. That went quickly. Went like one, as the pros say. So he'll sit at 45 through the half, plus a ball. And here's Brian Fournier at 68, getting started on the second half of the second string. Brian off to the right a little bit. Again, there's an outside shot, and it goes. As I was saying before, at this particular house, Riverwalk Lanes, I do attempt most of my shots on the outside, and worked for Brian that time. So here's the bonus ball. Off the head pin. Fill of 4. Everything but the head pin. Good attempt there, but just off the head stick. So he'll try and pick it up for a 10. And he does. So he's at 92 through 7. And right in the 1-3, a little light, but he's now looking at the diamond on the, triangle on the left. 4, 7, 8. Piece of wood on the right. He's not going to want to touch that, though, at least in my opinion. Steers clear of it, but a little too clear. So he's off to the left, takes out just a 7-pin. And he'll be open in the 8th. And he picks it up for a 10. He's on 102 through 8. A lot of room for damage to be done, though. Big hit in the head in the 1-2 pocket, as I speak very clearly to all of our listeners. He's got the 5-pin with a couple pieces of wood surrounding it. No guarantee, but he's all over it. So that's a big mark for Brian. He's going to want to put a decent fill in here. Probably 8 or better. I guess we should always be thinking 8 or better. Here's the bonus. And he's off to the right. Fill of 3. So 115 through 9 and counting. So he'll finish with the 7 box. 122, second string for Brian. It's at 226 for total pinfall so far. Layne is at 45 at the half, working on a spare. Here's the bonus. Bit of a break off the 3-pin rather. 1, 2, 8 still standing. He fills it with a 7. So he's at 52 through the completed half, and he's going for a spare, and he makes it. What a nice shot. It's not always a guarantee. I think that hook that he throws really kind of reassured that 8-pin falling. 62 plus this ball. Here it is, the bonus. Right in the pocket. Fill of 6, 4, 5, 7, 10. I think it was a little too high. That's not exactly where you want it to be, but a good bid nonetheless. So a 9 box, 77 through 7. Certainly got some work to do, but not a runaway quite yet. That's a big ball. Leaves just the 4-pin. And here it is, the bid. Yes, he's got it for a spare. So a big fill here would put him right back in it. It's at 87 plus this ball. Here's the bonus. Looks good. And he breaks up the split. Fill of 7. Puts him at 94, looking at the 247. And no. 2 pins still standing, so Layne will be open in the 9th. Nine box, 103, so he's going to need a mark and a 9 fill to tie Brian's 102. Certainly not out of the question here. Here's Layne Britton, and not the ball he wanted to throw. Takes out just 3 pins. Here's the attempt, and so Brian will take this string. Layne's at 110, and he's going to finish up this box. And a 10 box, so 113 for Layne Britton to Brian's 122. 9-pin lead, or 9-pin victory for the string. Layne is at 217 in total pinfall. Brian's at 226, and he will get us started immediately on lane 7 for string number 3. And that's a big ball looking at the 9-10. Unfortunately for you folks, I'm going to have to start talking more because music has commenced here at Riverwalk Lanes, and Facebook will shut us down if they pick up on that. So luckily you all get to hear me. Brian is, I think he misfired on that one. Brian was trying to play the cap of the left wood because with the split, 9-10 split, you really never know what you're going to get. So Brian starts with the 9 box. Brian's off to the right. That 7-pin is going to wobble quite a bit, but not fall. Four horsemen left, plus the 10-pin. Brian is outside on it. A little too full on the head pin, so he's looking at the 7-10 split. Brian will be open for the first 2 of this 3rd string. And another 9 box puts him at 18 through 2. Here's Brian Fournier. Heavy in the 1-3 pocket. 2-4-6. Got a piece of wood behind the 2-4, which could help him out. Now, what I was saying about an outside shot, I'd actually play inside on this one. And a little too inside, so he just takes out the 4-pin. And just 8 that time. 26 through 3. Here's Brian Fournier. Hard to believe that 2-pin's not going to fall. He went right through the middle, and that piece of wood, I don't know how it didn't knock over the 2-pin. He's looking at the 2.5 pin, the 4, 6, and 7. Piece of wood connecting, nearly connecting the 2 and the 6, and it doesn't work for him. Tough shot there. And look at this. He takes the 6-7 rather, for a 10 box. Wow. Great shot there. Brian's going to want to mark here so he doesn't go open throughout the half. And look good going in. Tailed off to the right at the very last second. Looking at the 4 horsemen left plus the 9-pin. And he's right in there and doesn't work. Caleri wins again. A 9 box. He's at 45 through the half. And Layne Britton will step up to lane 7. That was no pin intended there. Maybe it was intended. And Layne delivers. He's on the 1-3 pocket, yet looking at the 2, 5, 7, 10. Here's the spare attempt. He splits up the 2-5. It doesn't work. 7-10 still standing. So a 9-box to start out for Layne. It looks like a big ball going in, but really not much to show for it. Layne expressing himself with some body English there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. And he's going to go on the right side, which is probably the smarter play, but he was just off there, and he's looking at a dreadful split now. And unfortunately a 5-box for Layne, which is too bad because when you throw a ball like that to begin with and then you don't have anything to show for it, it's tough to accept that. Here's Layne Britton once again. There's a punch out of 3 pins there. Got off to the left a little bit. And another punch out, so Layne having a tough go at this at the moment. And he's going to get out of it really well with an 8-box. Can't be upset with that one. Although he is going to want to mark here to put some pressure on Brian. And looks good going down, but yeah, he's perhaps going to break it up. No. So the 2-7. He's got a piece of wood to work with. He'd probably want to hit the 2-pin on the right side. Excuse me, that's not, well, whatever pin it was, it's the one he wanted to hit. And it worked for him. So a great shot by Layne Britton. It was the 3-pin that I was referring to. And here's the bonus ball. A big hit. Wow. No love for Layne there. 5, 7, 9, 10. Fill of 6. 38 through 4. And a tough shot to look at. And he's too far outside the 5-pin. So an 8-box to finish the half. He's got a 1-pin lead over Brian, 46-45. And as we all know, it's ain't nothing but a gangsta party here at Riverwalk Lanes. Because that's how we ride. Here's Brian Fournier on lane 6. Big ball, and he's got everything but the 10-pin. So looking at a single pin, the 10-pin with 2 pieces of wood, not a guarantee, and he takes care of it. So he gets a mark back to start off the second half, and we'll see what he does with this bonus ball here. And it looks good going down through the middle, yet breaks up a little bit. And he's got a fill of 6, 61. Through boxes completed. And he's got the 3 on the right. He's got a, wow, what a bid. Cut the 3-pin in front of the 7-pin. Didn't touch anything over there. and he's got a 10 box. Brian Fournier lines up, delivers, and check mark right. 3, 5, 6, 10. And just by the 3-pin. So he'll be open in the 7th box, rather. 8th box. 9 box. There it is. So he's at 80 through 8. For those wondering where you can find out more information about the Atlantic Candlepin Single Store, be sure to check out AtlanticCandlepin.com, where we post all of our stats, and you can view upcoming matches there. Here's Brian. 4 horsemen left plus the 10-pin. It's a singles tour of 32 bowlers. Essentially, it's a league in which the bowler chooses his home house and is placed regionally in a division. Brian, a big attempt for the spare. The 10-pin still standing. And they bowl an 18-week season in which bowlers have 2 weeks to complete their match. From January through September, and the playoffs run through October. So 9 box for Brian. It's at 89. He's going to want to throw a mark here. And right on the head pin. 6, 7, 8, 10. Got a lot of wood on the deck. He's probably going to want to split the 2 on the right or play the left tip of it. We'll see what Brian chooses to do. Being a lefty, I'd probably go to split them, and he's going to do that. And he made the shot. Beautiful shot there. 7-pin took a little while to fall, but it eventually went, and Brian displayed some sensational body English. And he's going to throw his bonus ball right now. Here it is. Well, he's off the head pin, but manages to pull 7 out of that. 106 to finish the 3rd string for Brian Fournier. So that's exactly 60 pins is what Layne will need to tie him. 61 to win. Layne's at 46 as he's going to get going on lane 6. Big ball, and he's got an unfortunate big 5 split. Three on the left, 2 on the right. And too heavy on the 2-pin. So an 8 box for Layne is at 54. Layne Britton, yet another split. 2 good-looking balls going down and on lane 6, and not much to show for it, though he's got a very favorable piece of wood connecting the 4 and 3 pins. And let's see how he uses it, and he cannot catch it. He picks just the 6-pin. So a big opportunity for Layne there. Just slid by it, and he's got a 9 box. That's 63 through 7. He's in a must-mark situation at this point. Brian is at 332 for a total pinfall, and Layne gets a bit of a break off the head pin. Still standing are the 1, 2, 4, and 8 pins. Essentially, he's going to want to get right inside the 1 and 2. And he does, and it's gone. He makes it. Quick shot. 73 plus the ball. Here's the bonus. And a big 9-pin drop. 72 through box, 82 rather, through boxes completed. Sorry. And he's looking at the single pin, the 5-pin. And he's just barely picks it up. So he's put himself in a good position here. 92 through 9. Working on a fill here. Here's the bonus. And 6, 7, fill of 7. Needs 1 pin. As of now, he's tied with Brian. Needs 1 pin to win. And that'll do it. Almost picks up the spare. Wow. Good attempt there. So Layne will take the 3rd string along with the 1st, as Brian has the 2nd string. Layne finishes with a 108. It's at 325 through 3. So the difference in total is only 7 pins to Brian's favor. Brian will get us started on lane 7 for the 4th string of this very tight match. And off the head pin, but breaks up the 1, 2, and 10. And let's see what he does here. He's outside. He makes it. Another example of that type of shot where you want to play the outside of the spare leave, and there was no question about that one. Here's the bonus. Big hit. Is he going to break that split up? No, he's not. So fill of 6. He was just a tad too heavy on that head pin there. And it's outside. The wood, I believe, hindered the shot, although he wanted to play the inside of that lead there. But for 10, still standing, and he's got a 9 box. So he's at 25 through 2. And big ball there, and he's once again looking at the Woolward split, which is unfortunate. Though he's got a piece of wood in front of that 5-pin, I tend to believe he's going to want to be high on it. And he's going high, going at the cap, and wow! Just barely got by that 10-pin. And a 35 through 3 with the 10 box. So here's Brian Fournier for box number 4 of the 4th. And there's a big head pin hit. He's not going to get the strike. It's got a leaning Tower of Pisa 10 pin once again. And he just barely takes care of it. That cap was his friend there. So he's filling another spare in the 4th box. He's at 45 plus this ball. Here's the bonus. Thin hit, the 1-3. 10-pin is going to fall. So the 2-8 inverted half Worcester. Very tough shot to make this. Usually you want to play on the outside of the pin and try and make it go off the wall. He's slides by to the left. And an 8-box there. 61 for the half. As we see Layne Britton step up to the line for Layne on lane 7 for string number 4. Once again, my name is Frank DeLuca, and this is brought to you by the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. Check us out at atlanticcandlepin.com. We're here at Riverwalk Lanes, where Layne has chosen to have as his home house. Layne has the Caleri on the left side, 4 horsemen left, plus the 9-pin. So through and through, this has been a pretty tight match. And Layne's going outside on the Caleri, and he has it. Very difficult shot to make. Slowly but surely, it tumbled down. The 7-pin last to go. Here's the bonus ball, and it looks good. And can't doubt that one, folks. Big strike for Layne Britton. So a big start to Layne's 4th string. And here's another bonus ball. It's going to be off to the left a little bit there, but he's got yet another ball to throw in this fill. And let's see how he approaches this shot. Looks good. Fill of 8. 38 through 2. And that'll be a 10-box. So Layne pinning out very well. Off to a very hot start. 48 through 3 to Brian's 35, and boxes completed. Brian had a mark in the 4th and ended his half with a 61. So Layne has got a jump start on him. And yet the same leave. Takes out just 3 pins there. 4 horsemen plus the 5. Plus the 8 and plus the 9. And he goes outside. No, 2 and 2. Layne gets a little low, but finishes the box with an 8, 56. And there's a good-looking ball. Check mark right. Three, 5, 6, 10. Basically, what you'd want to do is pick a side of the triangle and play it. Preferably, I like the inside, the right side of this. And that's what he's going for. And, oh, just a little too heavy on it. 5 and 10 still standing. And the 9-box. So Layne, big 65 half to respond to Brian's 61. Brian will get us going on lane 6. Once again, he's at a 61 through 5 boxes. And here he goes. He's punched the left Worcester, the half Worcester. Through the hole. So he's going to want a big out here to keep himself in this string. And Unfortunately, the right Worcester goes this time, so 4 box. For 65. Brian's going to want to bounce back from that. And he's off to the right that time. Where? And Layne has indicated a score correction on that last box. Apparently it was a 6 box, so that would put Brian at 67. Brian just had a 7 box, puts him at 75. And a big hit in the head pin, looking at the 5-9 with a plank of wood in front of the 5. A little bit of an angle. I think as long as he's within the area of the red line, he should be okay. He to the right of it and proves me wrong that it would go. So is that right? Okay. Here's the bonus. And he's looking at the check mark on the right side. Fill of 6, 91. And let's. Oh! Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that would hinder the shot. That's unfortunate. The 10 pin still stands. And he takes care of the 10 box on the right side of that 10 pin. 101 is my belief. Through 9. It's got a box left to go in the string. And a big hit, leaving just the 7 pin with the likes of Somerville Lumber down there on lane 6. And takes care of that one, so he's filling in the 11. He's going 11, filling a mark in the 10th box. 111 plus this ball. Here's the bonus. Well, he's off to the right, but gets away with a 6 fill. 117 for Brian. $449 through 4 strings. Here's Layne Britton on lane 6. $138 still standing. And he's right on the head pin for the spare conversion. Great shot there. Pretty tough shot to make on that leave. And we'll see what Layne does with this bonus ball. Looks good. 1-3 pocket hit and quite an unconventional leave. Fill of 6 puts him at 81. He's got the 4-5. Excuse me, 3, 4. Well, didn't work. That 4-5. He's on the outside. 8 box. So Layne has completed 7 boxes. He's at 89. A little thin in the 1-3 pocket. And it's got some late action on the 9-pin, but it leans, it just doesn't go. .279 connected with wood. And no. Too low in the wood outside, and it actually only took the 7-pin out. Nine box. So 19 pins the difference. And that's what Layne needs in these next two boxes. He dropped 7. 2-4-7 with plenty of wood to work with. And here it is. He picks it up. So that'll put him at 108 plus this ball. Brian finished with a 117. Here's the bonus. Very full in the head pin. Fill of 7. That's it's going to get Layne the string. He's at 115 through 9. And look at that. Takes the 6-10 out, almost gets it to trickle over to the 7-pin. So Layne pulls this one out, and he's finished with a 9-box, 124. 7 pins the difference in that string. And it appears that we have a dead even match at total pinfall. So this is a 6-point string. Brian gets us going on lane 7 for string number 5. And he's got his first mark. Here's the bonus ball. He's off to the right, gets away with a 5. Could have been a lot worse on that first ball. He's outside, and not quite. Quite a bit, but it didn't work for him. So an 8-box. Three on the right, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. Brian a little too full in that 2-pin. Is it 1 pin? Total 1. Scoring correction. Total pinfall is 1 pin. Layne is at 450 through 4. Brian 449. Brian throws an 8-box there. That puts him at 31. And a big ball there. 5, 6, 10. Looked better going down. Looked better than that. Not much to show for it. And let's see what Brian does here. Oh, what a bid. Tough shot no matter what you do on that one. So he'll be open in the fourth. And he's got a 10 box. And there's that dreaded 1-5 again. Unfortunate punch out through the middle. Picks up 3 pins. And the key here is pinning out. When you have something unfortunate like that, you have to stick with it. And that's what Brian does. What a 10 box. Puts him at 51 through the half. Though he's probably not very happy with that half. He did pin very well. And here's Layne Britton to start our 5th and final string. He's off the head pin. He's got the 4 horsemen left. Piece of wood between the 2 and the 4. And he's going to play the inside. Gets past the head pin. Still stands. And he'll have a 10 box. Layne Britton. One, 6, 8, and 10. Not an easy shot. And he's right on the head pin, but that's all that's going to fall for him. Good bid. And a 7 box. Tough 7 box for Layne. It's at 17 through 2. In boxes completed, Brian has a 6-pin lead through the string. Remember, folks, total pinfall within this match is 1 pin to Layne Britton's advantage. He's at 450, Brian's at 449. There's a big ball from Layne. Looking at the check mark to the right. 3, 5, 6, and 10. Here's his bid, and just gets by the 3-pin, looking at the 3-5. And that'll be a 9 box. 26 through 3. And a huge pocket hit, looking at just the 7-pin. And I don't think he intended to go for the wood, but it almost worked for him. 7-pin still stands. And he'll still have that 7-pin. He's at 35 through 4. Brian Fournier at 51 through the half. And misfire there. He's takes out 4 pins. Riverwalk Lane's featuring a nice array of Metallica tonight. We had Moth into Flame and now For Whom the Bell Tolls. And Layne takes out everything except for the 5-pin. So a 9-box. Layne goes open through the half. He's at 44 rather. A 7-pin lead for Brian Fournier, who's at 51. Remember, folks, 1 pin the difference in total. Layne Britton 450, Brian Fournier 449. This is a 6-point string. And a big start to the second half. Brian's going to be left with an unfortunate split. The 7-8. Well, let's see what he does. Just gets by that 7. I think he was trying to kick it off the left wall, the left sidewall. And he gets the 8-pin for a 9-box. So at an even 60 through 6. The 1-9. Usually not a very easy shot to make. Very unpredictable action on that head pin if you hit it. And just gets by it. So the 1 pin still standing. Head pin. And by it once more. So 69 through 7. And Brian's going to want to mark out here to apply some pressure to Layne. There's a big hit. Six, 8, 10 with a very good piece of wood. Actually, I think it's double wood. Wiring up the 6 and he's got it. What a shot. That was the 6 and the 8 I was saying was wired up, and he played it perfectly. If that was a single piece of wood, I think he probably would have tried the left-hand side, but he knew it was double wood, and it would react differently to the ball's impact. And here's the bonus ball. Head pin hit. He's got a fill of 7. .357, I believe. And takes out just the 5. So a 9-box, that's where every pin counts. It's down to the wire here. He's at 95 through 9. And there's a big hit. It's going to be a strike. Delayed reaction from the 4-pin and from me for your home entertainment. Brian's going to want to have a big first ball here, possibly even a double. Here's the bonus. And he's off to the right, gets a huge break. 1-7. Already started the fill with 8. And here's the second bonus ball. Picks up the 1-7 for a great fill. He's at a 115. .564 is the total pinfall for Brian. And Layne has his work cut out for him. He was unable to throw a mark in the first half. He's at 44 through the half. And he's got 1-2-6 as Snoop Dogg will take us through the last half of the fifth string. Layne too good on that head pin. And he's got a 10 box. Right on the head pin. He has a split. Yeah. And he's got a great shot there. Played that wood perfectly. And let's see what he does on this bonus ball here. And that's a huge strike. Huge fill for Layne. He's at 84 plus 2 balls going into the ninth. And he's off to the left. One, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. Here's the bonus. Goes outside, fill of 7. It's at 91. 7 box, 98. With a box to go. So he most certainly needs a mark. He'll need a mark 7 to... Well, he'll need a mark 7. That's a big ball. He's got an unfortunate split. Wow. Looks like the 4-6 to me. And my guess he's going to want to play the wood on the right side in front of the 6 because he has that hooking ball. And let's see what he does. He makes it! What a shot! .108 plus this ball. Fill of 7 for 115. They split the string, but Layne holds on to total. Let's get a final check here of the score. $565 to $564. Layne Britton takes total. What a match, folks. Doesn't get much better than that. One, 2, 4, 6, 1, 7. So 11 points for Layne Britton, 3 points for Brian Fournier. What a match. 565 to 564. Clutch spare made in the 10th box by Layne Britton to hold on to that total. And that's why these guys are pros. So once again, to find out more information about our Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, please log on to AtlanticCandlepin.com for standings, stats, schedules, all types of other fun stuff. Please like our page on Facebook. Search for Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. And you can find us on Twitter at Candlepin Atlantic. And be sure to follow us. So my name is Frank DeLuca from Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. This was Brian Fournier and Layne Britton. And be sure to catch more action on the Alley Chat page and also the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page.